Hi guys, so some time ago I did some reactions to Tool, and at the time I thought there were some similarities to that kind of ominous Tool riff that seems to run through so many of their songs, and some British groups, English groups of the late 1970s, really synthesizer based groups. I know that Tool's riffs are not played on synthesizers. However, the guitarist seems to be able to make his guitar sound like anything really, and I think it does sometimes sound like a synthesizer. So I thought it would be interesting today to bring up the original English song from the late 1970s, Our Friends Electric it's called, by Tubeway Army, and see if we can see any similarities between this riff and the riffs of Tool. Now, the subject matter is completely different. I think Tubeway Army, the subject matter is usually based on Gary Newman's writing of science fiction stories, and Our Friends Electric has something to do with robots or androids taking over the world, which is completely different to Tool, with its kind of medieval Latinate format. Even if the content is contemporary, the format in Tool is the way it's presented is very old. Anyway, let's bring it up and see if we see any similarities. Browser. Paste. Okay. Paste. Okay. Right. Let's see. Get down.
There's a
Yeah, so that's Our Friends Electric by Tubeway Army. Later on, Gary Newman went solo, but continued with the same kind of music, synthesizer-based pop, really. I suppose this is a big difference between this and Tool. That Tool is kind of progressive or metal, perhaps, but this is more kind of synthesizer pop. It was very innovative for its time. Nobody had heard anything quite like it before. That ominous riff played on the synthesizer. It stayed at the #1 spot in the UK for many weeks, and it was proved to be very influential and brought in a whole slew of synthesizer based groups like the Human League and so many others. I do see that similarity between the ominous riff, though, and the ominous riffs that seem to be played in so many of Tool's songs, just continuing on throughout the whole song. I don't know if anyone in Tool ever had the chance to hear any of these synthesizer riffs and from the UK, and as I said before, the subject matter is completely different. But if you just isolate the riffs, it seems to me that there could be some kind of similarity, although the riffs are not played on synthesizers in Tool, as I now know. But that guitar can be made to sound like anything, and for all the world, it often sounds like a synthesizer, really. So I'd be interested in your comments and ideas. Is there any similarity between this kind of riff, synthesizer riff from the UK, from the late 1970s in the UK, and the kind of riffs that Tool sometimes produce, even though the subject matter is completely different and the um, the genre is different too. This is kind of synthesizer pop. Tool is more progressive or metal or a mix. So let me know what you think, and if you find this thought-provoking and interesting, then consider hitting the like button and subscribing. So thanks a lot, and see you next time. Thanks.